Good morning everyone, MMDA back on the road. Right now they're in Taguig. They're just issuing tickets for illegally parked vehicles and those riding without helmet. So we'll continue with the operation and see how things go today. They just stopped this gentleman here. His helmet is on the handlebars instead of his head. And over here they're going to issue a ticket to this vehicle for illegal parking. It's quite a narrow road, so even having just one vehicle parked here can cause a lot of congestion, especially during rush hour. And over here they're issuing a ticket to this tricycle. The owner of this tricycle just came out now, so they'll be able to write out a ticket. That's good because there's no plates on it. And over here they're writing out a ticket to this motorcycle rider. Although they both have helmets, the female in the back wasn't wearing hers. And down another road now they're looking at this canteen that's extended, well, into the road itself. And generally what happens is people extend with one step, then they extend a bit more, then they build a wall, and it keeps going until, you know, they've occupied a significant amount of the road. So as much as possible, when the barangay see people building these little steps or these little walls or things like that, they should stop them from day one. So again, they're going to let the owner keep that. So there is a chance that it might be reinstalled. And further down the road, they're issuing a ticket to this van for illegal parking. Whenever the sidewalk clearing team get in a location like this, it's very difficult for them to operate because there's no clearly defined sidewalk. So it's very hard to know what should and shouldn't be removed. Over here the sidewalk clearing team are looking to remove this little fold down shelf and maybe the tarpaulin up there, because once they're extended they're going to be in the road itself, and that serves as an obstruction to passing vehicles. And it looks like they'll be bringing down this little wall here now. I'm not sure how much of a difference that this will make, but it's something. Over here you'll see they're removing this tarpaulin. Again, they consider it as an obstruction extending out too far from the property. And over here they're planning to take down this concrete block. They thought it might be a telephone exchange or something like that, but it's actually empty inside. So it's better if it's removed because it's right next to a fire hydrant, so better access by removing it. And over here they're issuing one more ticket, back rider, no helmet. Right now they're talking to this property owner about these steps here, because if you look, you can see the road is very consistent with this wall until you get to this point, and then there are these huge steps that extend out. And well, that's far too heavy for the MMDA to remove without proper tools. I stand corrected, they are going to try and bring down these steps after all, but it's going to take a lot of manpower, a lot of sweat from these guys. There was a company that generously donated a jackhammer or a demolition hammer. The problem is the team were never able to use it because it needs to be plugged into the power, and they didn't have a generator. And now it's already gone to a different MMDA team. And over here they're writing out a ticket for this one, lady on the back, no crash helmet. And over here is another small extending shelf that they'll remove because once it's put up, it will be obstructing the road. A few of the residents have come out now and they're clearing up the rubble, so that's good. It saves MMDA some work, and make sure that the road is clear immediately. Right now they're looking at this chimney oven thing. The barangay captain just told them it needs to be removed, and the lady said, yeah, next time na lang. Over here they're bringing down this small extended roof. The lady said, yeah, go ahead, no problem. Okay, down it comes. Further down the road, some residents are choosing to self-demolish. That will save the MMDA a little bit of time. And this is good to see. They built a tall wall here. I assume there's a river behind this. By making the wall so tall, it prevents people from building their house here. It also deters them from throwing their garbage over. But just across from that wall, yeah, there's some work to be done. A lot of extended roofs, barrels in the road, parked motorcycles. Even on top of the wall they put a lot of their stuff. It's not so tall in this area, unfortunately, so it makes it more accessible to people. The lady asked if they can have a week to remove their obstructions, but the barangay captain said he's been through here many times and asked them, so if they wait a week, probably nothing will change. The lady has promised to remove all of this by Sunday, and they've agreed to that. The thing to remember is that the barangay are the ones that requested the MMDA to go here. That means they've already exhausted their best efforts. So when the team go here, the MMDA go here, there should be no more next time. It should be this time. You'll see a lot of people have installed ramps here as well, so they can get their motorcycles onto the sidewalk and into their properties. The problem is they do serve as obstructions not only to the sewers and to the flow of water, but also to vehicles that are passing through, especially bicycles and motorcycles that typically use the inside lane here. And another extended roof over here they're advising them to remove. How would anyone ever think it's okay to build something like this? A huge ramp that extends so far into the road. And they just entered another barangay now. It's still in Taguig and they're just coordinating before the operation in this one begins. So this is the street that the barangay led the team to. It's Blue Falcon Street and apparently no parking both sides. So the team will be issuing tickets now. And this is a really nice car over here. I did speak to someone from the barangay earlier and I told her in some places that the team operate, the barangay will actually go ahead and warn people, hey, move your car, there's going to be an operation. And she said, no, we don't do that because the whole point is to penalize people who illegally park so they don't do it over and over again. And it's not just cars being ticketed, but also motorcycles. And down the road here, one more vehicle being ticketed. And over here, the enforcer's writing out the ticket to this one. It will be unattended illegal parking, 2,000 peso. And down here, they're looking at this tricycle and what looks to be a quad bike. So right now, they're writing out the ticket to the plate number on this tricycle, and that will prevent the owner from renewing the registration until those tickets are paid. So they stopped this motorcycle over here because his back rider wasn't wearing a helmet. Unfortunately, his registration has also expired and he doesn't have a driver's license. All of that would usually result in the bike being impounded, but of course they don't have any tow trucks at the moment because the MMDA impound area is full. They really need to prioritize removing vehicles from there, those that have been sitting for months or years, and take them outside of the city, because when they catch people like this, there's nothing they can do. They can issue a ticket, but is he going to pay the ticket if the vehicle's not registered and he doesn't have a license? And over here they're issuing a ticket to this motorcycle for illegal parking. I was asking him, how are you ticketing it? I don't see a plate. And then he pointed, hidden inside here is a plate. What good is it in here? Absolutely no good. Nobody can see it. But then when he's stopped by authorities, they'll say, yeah, look, I have a plate. Yeah, you have a plate, but it's hidden. And here's one of the concerns or complaints from the barangay. There's an abandoned vehicle here. Apparently it's owned by the Marines. They said a retired Marine brought it here for repair, and it's basically been stuck here for 6 months or longer. The engine is no longer inside. Apparently it's under repair and they want it gone. The problem is they don't have any tow trucks with them today, and even if they did, they couldn't take a vehicle this heavy and this large. You need a specialized truck for that. Some people have said this is still owned by the Marines and is a government vehicle. Some other people said it was already sold. So I'm actually not sure right now what the status of this vehicle is. And over here, someone from the barangay just spoke to this property owner because it appears that they've extended their gate so that they can fit in a larger vehicle. And they're asking them or telling them, hey, you need to push that back so it's in line with the wall. And in fact, there's another team already here. This is a MMDA MPCG. I don't know if this is an MMDA generator or if they just got it on loan, but they're running the generator and they're going to have a heavy equipment, what do you call this, like a demolition hammer, and it looks like they're actually going to be using this to remove those gates. Someone from the house had come out and she was very unhappy, but they're just trying to do their job and clear what they believe to be a public space. The car is being removed now and they're recommending to the homeowner to adjust their living space so that there's more room for the car and it doesn't have to have this extended gate. They just stopped this gentleman here riding with the helmet on his elbow. It's a really expensive mistake, and believe it or not, even with all of these enforcers here, this armored truck just arrived, parked, and then the driver's disappeared. I'm not sure where he's gone, but yeah, he's just left the armored truck sitting here. And over here they just broke down this plant box and they're going to take the corner off here because vehicles are having a difficulty turning, and it looks like some vehicles have actually scraped up against that wall. They've already spoken to the owner and she was willing to allow them to just cut the corner off that wall. So that might not be happening after all. The guy that was arguing about the truck earlier is now arguing about this. He doesn't want it to happen. I don't know if it's his wall or if he's just a resident here, and I'm not 100% sure if this is cutting into public land or if it's private. Of course, if it's private, then there's not much they can do. Just to try and show it from another angle, because there's a lot of dispute at the moment. You can see the wall of the building here, then you can see the wall that extends around the road. So it does actually come out around, what's that, 1 foot, and then it follows around the curve. And I don't know, is that enough to say it's encroaching? Maybe there should also be a setback from the road. I'm not clear on this. It's very confusing in Taguig, the layout of all the roads and the lack of sidewalks. So they have to just rely on what the barangay tell them.
Sabi ko nga.